Hi, I'm Alicia. For 3 years, I've been married to David, who's pretty much everything I could ask for in a husband. Smart, kind, supportive, the whole package. His family? Not so much. Especially his sister, Vanessa. You wouldn't believe what Vanessa said to me today. I told my best friend Morgan as we sat at our usual coffee shop. She accidentally spilled wine on my white dress at lunch, then said maybe I should wear more flattering colors anyway. Morgan rolled her eyes. That woman has had it out for you since day one. What does David say about it? You know how he is. She's just protective, or that's just Vanessa being Vanessa. I mimicked his defensive tone. He doesn't see what I see. Which is? Pure calculation. The way she acts when he's in the room versus when he steps out. Night and day. But if I call her out, I'm the crazy, sensitive one. So what's your plan? Morgan stirred her latte. Continue being her emotional punching bag for the next 30 years? I shrugged. I've been playing nice, acting like her comments don't bother me. Like I don't notice. The old kill them with kindness approach? How's that working for you? Morgan's skepticism was clear in her raised eyebrow. About as well as you'd expect, I admitted. But I'm not giving her ammunition to paint me as the villain in this family drama. My phone buzzed with a text. Morgan glanced at my screen. Speak of the devil. She wants to meet for lunch tomorrow, says she has something important to discuss. I frowned at the message. Maybe she's finally ready to apologize for being a nightmare human being. I doubt it. Last week she told David's mom I'm not serious about starting a family because I mentioned wanting to finish my master's first. Morgan leaned forward. Alicia, listen to me. You don't have to... My phone rang. David's name flashed on the screen. Hey, honey, I answered. Alicia, did you get Vanessa's text? His voice sounded tense. Just now. What's this about? She didn't say, but... He hesitated. Just hear her out, okay? She's going through some stuff. When is she not? I caught Morgan's eye and mouthed sorry. Please, for me? She specifically asked to talk to you alone. Fine. For you. I hung up and turned to Morgan. Apparently, Queen Vanessa has summoned me to an audience. Be careful, Morgan warned. This feels off. The next day, I met Vanessa at an upscale restaurant downtown. She was already there, looking perfectly put together as always. Alicia, thanks for coming. She smiled with practiced charm. I ordered us mimosas. What's this about, Vanessa? I asked, skipping the pleasantries. Always so direct. She laughed lightly. I've actually been meaning to talk to you about David. What about him? Vanessa took a deliberate sip of her drink. I'm concerned. He's been different lately. Stressed, distant with the family. He seems fine to me, I replied carefully. Well, you wouldn't notice, would you? You're so busy with your studies and career. Her smile remained fixed. Family has always been everything to David. Before I could respond, her phone rang. She glanced at it, frowned, and excused herself. As she walked away, her phone remained on the table. A text notification popped up, clearly visible. All set for tomorrow. David doesn't suspect anything. Make sure Alicia stays clueless. My blood ran cold. I quickly memorized the number, which wasn't saved in her contacts. When she returned, I played dumb. Everything okay? Just work. She waved dismissively. Now, where were we? You're absolutely sure that's what the text said? Morgan paced around my living room the next morning. David doesn't suspect anything? And make sure Alicia stays clueless? Word for word, I confirmed, clutching my coffee mug. And you should have seen her face when she came back. Like a cat who ate the canary. Did you tell David? I shook my head. Tell him what exactly? That his sister got a suspicious text? He'd say I'm overreacting or invading her privacy. What about the phone number? Did you try calling it? Morgan suggested. Not yet, I was waiting for you. I pulled out my phone and dialed the number on speaker. A male voice answered. Hello? I hung up immediately, heart racing. Well, that was helpful, Morgan said dryly. At least we know it's a man. What if she's planning something against David or us? My mind raced through possibilities. She's always hated our relationship. We need more information, Morgan said firmly. Call Patricia. Maybe David's mom knows something. I dialed my mother-in-law's number, putting it on speaker. Alicia, what a pleasant surprise, Patricia answered warmly. Hi, Patricia. I was wondering if you've talked to Vanessa lately. She seemed upset when we had lunch yesterday. Upset? Oh dear. Is this about the investment? I told her to discuss it with both of you properly. My eyes met Morgan's. Investment? The property venture. David's inheritance money. Patricia paused. She hasn't mentioned it? Not exactly. Could you tell me more? Well, I probably shouldn't. Patricia hesitated. But Vanessa said she found an incredible investment opportunity. Something about luxury condos. She needed quick capital and approached David about using his inheritance from your grandfather. My stomach dropped. David's grandfather had left him a substantial sum with specific conditions. It was for our future home and children's education. When did she talk to David about this? I asked carefully. A few weeks ago, I believe. She said he was interested but needed to convince you. You can be particular about finances. Patricia's tone turned slightly disapproving. Thanks for the information, Patricia. I should talk to David about this directly. After hanging up, Morgan stared at me. She's trying to get David's inheritance money. But David would never invest that without discussing it with me first, I insisted. Are you sure? Morgan challenged. You said yourself he has a blind spot when it comes to Vanessa. The front door opened and David walked in, looking distracted. Hey, I didn't know Morgan was coming over, he said, kissing my cheek absently. Impromptu visit, Morgan replied, watching him carefully. Everything okay? You seem preoccupied. Just work stuff. He avoided my eyes. I'll be in my office. Got some paperwork to go through. After he left, I whispered, He's hiding something. I can always tell. Time to stop playing dumb, Morgan decided. Let's see what this investment opportunity really is. While David was busy, I called Jordan, a friend who worked as a financial investigator. Luxury condo development? Jordan's voice was skeptical after I explained. What's the company name? Horizon Investments. At least that's what was on the brochure I found in David's briefcase. Send me the details. I'll look into it. An hour later, Jordan called back. Alicia, this company is bad news. Multiple complaints filed, investigations pending in 2 states. Classic signs of a property scam. So Vanessa is trying to scam her own brother? I felt sick. Or she's being scammed herself and doesn't realize it. Either way, that money would disappear. Thanks, Jordan. I owe you. Morgan squeezed my hand. What now? Now, I said, my resolve hardening. I confront them both. I stood in our kitchen, hands shaking as I reviewed the evidence Jordan had emailed. The company Vanessa was pushing, Horizon Investments, had left a trail of bankruptcies and lawsuits across 3 states. When David emerged from his office, I asked casually, Do you have plans tomorrow afternoon? Actually, I'm meeting Vanessa for coffee. Just a quick sibling catch-up. He wouldn't meet my eyes. Really? Because I thought you might be signing some investment paperwork. I kept my voice steady. David froze. Who told you that? Does it matter? Were you planning to tell me before or after you signed away your grandfather's inheritance? Alicia, it's not like that. His voice took on that familiar defensive tone. It's a solid investment opportunity. Vanessa did all the research. Did she now? And you just trusted her without doing any of your own? She's my sister. She's looking out for us. For us? Or for herself? I slid Jordan's report across the counter. Horizon Investments is a scam, David. They've defrauded dozens of investors. His face paled as he skimmed the documents. This can't be right. Call Vanessa. Tell her you're still meeting tomorrow, but I'm coming too. Alicia, either I'm there, or I call the police right now and report the attempted fraud. The next day, we sat in a quiet corner of an upscale coffee shop. Vanessa arrived with a man in an expensive suit, Marcus, the investment manager. David, you didn't mention Alicia would be joining us. Vanessa's smile tightened. Change of plans, David replied flatly. Alicia should be involved in financial decisions that affect our future. Marcus extended his hand. Marcus Phillips, pleasure to meet you both. Shall we get down to business? I have the final paperwork right here. Actually, I interrupted, I have some questions about Horizon Investments first. Marcus nodded. Of course. Due diligence is important. Like why your company has been investigated for fraud in multiple states? Or why your previous development in Phoenix never broke ground despite collecting millions in investments? The color drained from Marcus's face. Vanessa's eyes darted between us. I don't know what you've heard, but Marcus began. Save it, I cut him off. We've done our research, and we've already forwarded all of it to the State Attorney General's office. David, she's overreacting, Vanessa pleaded. Marcus explained all those misunderstandings to me. And what about your cut, Vanessa? I asked coldly. The 20% finder's fee? Was that a misunderstanding too? David's head snapped toward his sister. What is she talking about? She's lying, Vanessa hissed. She's always been jealous of our relationship, always trying to come between us. Show him the contract, Marcus, I demanded. The full contract, including the commission structure. This meeting is over. Marcus stood abruptly, gathering his papers. I grabbed his arm. You're not going anywhere. The police are already on their way. As if on cue, 2 plainclothes officers approached our table. Marcus Phillips? One asked. We'd like to ask you some questions about Horizon Investments. As they led Marcus away, Vanessa turned on me, eyes blazing. You stupid bitch. You have no idea what you've done. I know exactly what I've done, I replied evenly. I've protected my husband from being scammed by his own sister. David, you can't believe this, Vanessa pleaded. I was trying to help you, help us, the family. David's voice was barely audible. By stealing my grandfather's money? Money meant for our children's future? It wasn't stealing. I was going to pay you back once my commission came through. Tears filled her eyes. I'm sorry, okay? I made a mistake. I was desperate. Save your apologies, I told her. The officer would like to speak with you next. 6 months later, I sat across from Morgan at our usual coffee shop, stirring my latte absently. Earth to Alicia, Morgan waved her hand in front of my face. Where'd you go just now? Sorry, just thinking about the hearing tomorrow. I sighed. Final sentencing for Marcus. Vanessa will be there. Has she tried contacting you again? Every week, like clockwork. Calls, texts, even handwritten letters. I rolled my eyes. All variations on the same theme. She's sorry. She's changed. She wants to make amends. And David? Morgan asked cautiously. Still struggling? I looked down at my coffee. He wants to forgive her. Says she's still his sister despite everything. And you? I can't, won't. My voice hardened. She didn't just try to steal from us, Morgan. She betrayed family, used David's trust against him. Some things you don't come back from. My phone buzzed. Speak of the devil, I muttered, showing Morgan the screen. Another text from Vanessa. Please meet before court tomorrow. Just 10 minutes. I need to explain. Morgan raised an eyebrow. Are you going to? Actually, yes. I put my phone away. One last conversation before the book closes on this chapter. The next morning, I arrived at the small cafe near the courthouse. Vanessa was already there, looking diminished somehow. The designer clothes and perfect makeup were gone, replaced with a simple blouse and minimal cosmetics. Thank you for coming, she said as I sat down. I didn't think you would. Let's make this quick, I replied. Court starts in an hour. Alicia, I know you hate me. I don't hate you, Vanessa. That would require investing emotional energy I'm not willing to spend on you anymore. She flinched. I deserve that. I deserve all of it, but please, if you have any influence with David, stop right there. I held up my hand. If you invited me here to ask me to convince David to forgive you, this conversation is over. He's my brother. Her voice cracked. My family. And you tried to steal his future. His children's future. I leaned forward. Actions have consequences, Vanessa. You're facing yours. The judge might be lenient if David speaks on my behalf, she pleaded. Community service instead of jail time. That's between you and David. I won't influence him either way. Why not? You've won, Alicia. You've proven you were right about me all along. Isn't that enough? I studied her face, looking for signs of the old manipulative Vanessa, but all I saw was desperation. This isn't about winning, I said finally. It's about justice and trust, both of which you destroyed. People make mistakes, they change. Some mistakes are too big. I stood up. See you in court. Later that day, I watched as the judge sentenced both Marcus and Vanessa, him to 5 years for fraud, her to 18 months for conspiracy. David sat beside me, his face a mask of grief. You okay? I whispered as they led Vanessa away. He nodded slightly. You were right. All along. About everything. I'm sorry I had to be. Outside the courthouse, Patricia approached us, eyes red from crying. This is your fault, she accused me. If you had forgiven her— Mom, stop, David interrupted. Vanessa did this to herself, to all of us. She's still family, Patricia insisted. Family doesn't do what she did, I replied firmly. Family doesn't betray trust for personal gain. Later that evening, David and I sat on our porch swing, watching the sunset. What happens now? He asked quietly. We move forward, together. I squeezed his hand. We protect what matters, our future, our plans. Without Vanessa? The pain in his voice was palpable. That's your decision eventually. But trust, once broken, is like a shattered mirror, David. You can put the pieces back together, but you'll always see the cracks. I never thought she could do something like this. Sometimes the people closest to us are the ones who can hurt us the most, I said softly. The question is, what do we learn from it? He pulled me closer. To value those who are honest, who protect what matters, who stay. As night fell around us, I wondered, how many others have faced betrayal from those they trusted most? And how did they find the strength to move forward? Have you ever had to cut someone toxic from your life, even when others pushed you to forgive? Share your story in the comments below.